Struggling to talk with your child about COVID-19? I can help you with that. Hi, all you wonderful parents out there. I'm Wendy, and this is Creative Moxie. Now, many parents have been asking, how do I talk to my child about the scary stuff that's happening right now? So I thought we could take a few minutes and talk about that. So let's get right into it. Okay, you're going to handle talking with each child a little bit differently depending on their age and their maturity level. You know your child best, use your best judgment, but you know you're not going to talk to a 5-year-old the same way you're going to talk to a 16 or 17-year-old. You're going to talk to them calmly and honestly. Don't come to the conversation with your energy level really high and freaked out a little bit about what's going on, okay? We don't want you worried going into this conversation, and you're going to want to definitely be honest with them. Kids have a way of sensing, or if they find out later that you're not being honest, then they won't trust you in the future. So even though you might be paring down the information for like a 5-year-old, still be honest. You're going to ask them once a day if they have any questions about what's happening right now. Don't put any information into this question. You don't want to prompt them by giving them more information than they already have. You're not going to ask them questions like, do you have any questions about what we heard earlier on the news, X, Y, and Z, okay? But because by giving them more information than they need, you run the risk of giving them something to worry about that they may not have even thought of. Remember, the goal here is to help ease their worry, not create more. Okay, the questions you're going to ask are something like, I'm just checking in with you to see if you have any question about what's happening right now. Or is there anything troubling you that you might want to talk about? Those are good questions. Now, if the answer is no, they don't have any questions, woohoo, good for you. The little parent in your head is screaming, yay. Okay, but the real thing you're going to say is you're going to reassure them that you're here for them and that at any time if they have any questions, they should be able to come to you. Or something like, if you think of anything, please come to me. I'm happy to help you. Okay. Now, if they do have a question, now you've got to make sure you know what you're doing. Okay, you're going to speak reassuringly to them. Try to keep the information simple and again, truthful. Remind them that everything they read on the internet isn't always true, and they should check with you about any information that they may hear or read that worries them or scares them. And make sure you listen to them when they talk. Children need to be heard, and listening will give you more insight into what they're thinking and potentially what they're scared about or worrying about. And you also only want to answer their specific question. Remember, by giving them more information than they need, you run the risk of giving them something else to worry about. We don't want to do that. All right. If you don't know the answer to a question, because we all have been there where they ask a question, why is the sky blue? And you're like, I don't remember. Okay. If you don't know the answer to a question, it's okay. You're not the keeper of all knowledge. They know that. You know that. Okay? Tell them you don't know, but you're going to find out and you're going to get back to them. And make sure you do get back to them. Or maybe in your household, if it's age appropriate, you might look up the answer together. Okay? Some people do that, especially depending on the age of your child. Also, sometimes they ask you questions that startle you or freak you out a little bit. You weren't expecting, you're not sure. Okay, stay calm and just tell them, I'm going to take a few minutes and get back to you. It's okay. Maybe you could even tell them, I'm not sure. I want to look that up before I talk with you. But again, make sure you get back to them and make sure you answer their question. Okay, sometimes we have a tendency as parents to kind of answer a little different question than what they're asking. So again, make sure. All right, so now you may be asking, that's well and good, Wendy, but where do I get the content for answering these questions? You're not alone at all. I'll include the links to CDC and kidshealth.org down below in the descriptions. So that will get you started. The internet is a wealth of resources to answer questions that kids ask parents all the time. It's a tool use it. It's there for you. Again, make sure you get back to them when you get the answer to their question. There are other things you can do to help limit the amount of worry that your child may be experiencing. Limiting their exposure to news and information is a good place to start. It's much better for the kids if they aren't exposed to all the news. Limit the time that you spend reading about, listening, and watching the news in front of them because they hear everything, even if you think they're not listening. Don't let your TV or radio run all day long on a news channel. I know that as parents, we are looking for information ourselves, and there's not a lot of absolutes out there. So we have a tendency to want it to play so that if anything new comes along, we hear it. Don't do that. Turn it off when they're in the room or in earshot. Also, try not to talk to other adults about this stuff in front of them, whether it's on the phone or, across the driveway or whatever, okay? I know we are in isolation and we crave that kind of conversation with another adult, and I know that it's really tempting, but try not to talk about the scary stuff, okay? Be mindful that they're always within earshot. Even if they're playing on the floor and they seemingly don't, they're very into whatever they're doing, they seemingly aren't listening, and you're in another room, trust me, they're hearing everything you're saying. Also, when you're talking with other adults, maybe try and stay focused on positive things. Find something happy to talk about if you can. It might help your mood too, not talking about this stuff all the time. Remember that even a little change in your behavior can have positive ripple effects throughout your home. You can get your kids through this. I know you can. If you found this video helpful, please hit like so more parents can find it, subscribe if you'd like, and hit the bell button if you want to be notified of episodes when they come out. So till next time, I'm Wendy, and from my team here at Creative Moxie, remember to hang in there and be kind to each other.